Found that secondhand vapor from e-cigarettes can also be dangerous.
And our Carla Castaño is here. You're actually the one behind getting lawmakers to kind of pay attention to all of this.
Well, we found out a lot of kids are vaping, and a national survey just released found that teens are using e-cigarettes twice as much as regular cigarettes. We also discovered the e-cigarette market is completely unregulated. Puff after puff.
Every time I'd go, I'd notice at the e-cigarette kiosks, the attendants there were always blowing vapors in the air.
The constant vaping at this kiosk at the Westfield Vancouver Mall got the attention of shopper Michael Hamberg.
It is a little concerning for me and my family.
He tried to contact Westfield Vancouver Mall's management multiple times about the vaping inside the mall.
I hadn't got a response.
The marketing director told me he didn't have any comment on the issue. I was just following up to see if you were going to do an interview with us. I also called the owner of the LifeWise Vapor Kiosk. Did you have any comments as far as the complaints from some of the shoppers in the mall about the, using the vapor inside the mall? I do not. No comment? Okay. Well, I just wanted to make sure that we were, giving you every opportunity to give your side of the story. Washington's smoking in public places law passed in 2005. It does not ban e-cigarettes. They didn't come on the scene until 2 years later. I talked to Washington's Department of Health. They say it's up to local governments to make the call. King, Pierce, and Grant counties, along with Pasco City, don't allow vaping indoors.
Vancouver doesn't have that kind of ban. And yeah, we do get a number of calls asking why is it that people can use these products.
When we went to the LifeWise Vapor Kiosk, an employee told us about a wide range of liquids, including some infused with caffeine and melatonin. Who's regulating this?
Nobody.
Is that a big problem?
I think when you have a chemical that people are inhaling into their lungs, and that it's a psychoactive chemical and it doesn't have any regulation or any protection or prevention for kids, that's a cause for concern.
I checked, and there are 5 proposed bills in Washington and 7 in Oregon about vaping this upcoming legislative session. Most of those are about regulating e-cigarettes to prevent kids from buying them. While Oregon House Bill 2546 would ban vaping indoors, there's nothing in all the proposed Washington legislation to stop vaping inside public places. This, while in Vancouver, someone who uses any tobacco product in a park can get a fine of up to $1,000. So we went to Vancouver Mayor Tim Levitt.
And I've just heard about the issues at the Westfield Shopping Center through second, third hand.
He told me the city will now consider banning vaping indoors. So this is something you're going to be looking into?
It is. Our city manager has been tasked with doing some research.
Clark County Councilor Tom Milkey had no idea vaping is allowed in the mall. He tells me the council will likely pass an ordinance preventing vaping inside in public places. What's the time frame? How quickly could something like this happen?
Probably within a month or two.
Hamberg says the vapor irritates his throat, and he was worried about his daughter.
I was just kind of concerned about my family being there and with the health issues.
2 new studies by Portland State professors published in the New England Journal of Medicine raise additional questions about vaping.
Anybody who is around an e-cigarette user is being exposed to the same chemicals that the user is. And it's not just water vapor, it's all these other chemicals and the flavorants.
Dr. James Pankow studied chemicals that flavor the vaping liquids. He tells me they are not safe to be inhaled.
It's a class of chemical, and aldehyde are known respiratory irritants.
His study found in some of the liquids the flavorant levels are really high. And the other PSU study by Dr. David Payton discovered a cancer-causing chemical.
We saw up to about 15 times as much formaldehyde as one study saw in cigarette smoke.
We called several e-cigarette manufacturers.
Hi, this is Carla Castaño with Coin 6 News.
They declined to comment about their products, but I did reach the president of the largest trade association in the vapor industry, and he was familiar with the recent research.
The study was in no way, shape, or form designed to examine whether or not electronic cigarettes were more harmful than smoking.
Still, Michael Hamberg hopes Vancouver city leaders take the new research into consideration and act quickly.
It seems more like a family environment, like a mall. They shouldn't have something like that.
So those researchers at PSU, they tell me that there are several other health concerns that e-cigarettes pose, and they say that they're going to have some other studies that they're going to be releasing in the next couple of months.
Okay, I hear the critics saying, okay, whatever you say, it might have this, it might have formaldehyde, it's still safer than regular cigarettes. That's what the critics are saying.
That is, and the researchers are saying it's going to be about 10 years before we know all of the health concerns that are out there.
So a lot of states are just treating e-cigarettes like regular cigarettes. No smoking indoors or a special place where you can smoke. It's just like a regular cigarette.
Yeah, and there's a lot of legislation that is being proposed in Oregon and Washington this year, so we'll have to wait and see what happens.
Carla, thank you so much.